Hey, good afternoon. It's Jim from JAGfx.com. It is Saturday, the 12th of April 2025. This is my weekly analysis video where we have a look at some of the pairs, Forex pairs mainly, that I'm trading on the daily time frame using the high probability and divergence trading methods from my books. All right, first up, if I sound a bit flat, I'm struggling to actually talk. I've got a sore throat. There's something going around and I think it's my turn, and my throat is super sore, so I'm struggling a bit to speak. Yeah, hope everyone's weekend's going okay. My team had a win last night against a team they shouldn't have beat, but they did, so we'll take that. Yay! As we all know, it's been a pretty hectic couple of weeks in the markets, mainly due to the Trump administration and what's the word you could use? Well, I'm trying to be polite here. Pivot. They pivot every second day. The tariffs are on, the tariffs are off. Yeah, I don't understand these tariffs. You look, like Australia's been hit with a 10%. It's supposed to be reciprocal tariff. Australia doesn't have a tariff with the US. We actually import more from the US than we export to the US. And what other there's and the US are complaining about they're restricted on I think it's pork and beef products and also pharmaceuticals. The main reason is because Australia's got really strict laws when it comes to biosecurity with food and that. So it's an island that they try to protect. So I'm not sure what the US their gripe is with Australia. And pharmaceuticals, that's just been an ongoing thing. Like a tablet, like a tablet may cost $200, for example. In the US, that same tablet in Australia costs $20. $20. So yeah, it's always an ongoing thing. And country, there's what's that country? I don't know how to pronounce it. In Africa, all they export to the US is diamonds, and they've been hit with a tariff. Now, the reason for the tariffs is to create more jobs in the US. I get that. I understand that. But how does a country that can't produce diamonds suddenly start producing diamonds? This country, I feel bad. I can't pronounce the name of it. Sieto, I can't remember it. But yeah, all they do is export diamonds to the US, and the US hasn't got diamonds. It's not one of their industries, so I don't know how they expect to, I don't know. But anyway, it's created havoc with the markets. It's created a lot of volatility. Some of it's good, some of it's bad, but it's just the market uncertainty. Look, I love big moves in the market. I love them, but I just don't like when it goes one way one day, then the next day completely changes. And we'll get into that, but it doesn't matter. All right, let's get into it. TradingView. I use all my analysis on TradingView. Now, if you saw my post during the week, I'm just changing my watch lists around a bit. It's getting a little bit, not overwhelming. The correlation's killing me a bit, and the multiple trade management techniques on multiple pairs is getting a little bit too much work for me. It tends to be that when the US dollar goes the wrong way, all the pairs sort of get dragged the same way. So I've just dumbed it down a bit. So basically, if you look on the watch list on the right here, there's 4 different colours. Hopefully you can see them. The top 3, that's just going to be multi-sequence hedging. That's all that's going to be. The next 4 is going to be loss recovery based on the QMP dot, so every dot. The next 3 in the blue there are just traditional hedging, and the 3 below that are loss recovery based on the MACD Platinum. So it has to be a valid signal. So there's no example. I'll show you one when we get to it. And all the other ones are just trades I've still got open. Once those trades are dealt with, they'll be out of the way. If you have a look at on the spreadsheet, shared spreadsheet, there's your list of the pairs there. Now, I had a question in the Telegram channel an hour or so ago, asked me about these pairs. Look, I've tried to avoid correlation, try to split things up a little bit, but these are pairs that tend to move the nicest or the best for each sort of. With the multi-sequence hedging and the LRQ, you want pairs that move a fair bit. So these are all pairs that can move big moves pretty regularly. regularly. The traditional hedging, the loss recovery, they're sort of middle of the road pairs, and your dollar cost averaging, they're just pairs that tend not to move very much. So you can have a read of that. It's on the shared spreadsheet. You all got access to that. All right. So if you do like the video, please hit the like button and subscribe button. That's always appreciated. Should really pause the video when I'm drinking, but let's get into it. All right. Aussie yen. It's a new pair to the mix. I'm in a buy trade here. Took it on Friday morning. It's a tough one to take, this one. Look at this market just grinding down, but the MACD platinum's below the zero level. So there's a blue dot there. Take the buy. It's probably a high risk trade, and it'd be a tough one if you're trading the traditional way with a stop loss in place. You might be down here somewhere. It's funny. I've had just twice this week I've been speaking to other traders, and both of them said their trading improved when they stopped using stop losses. Now, I don't say that casually, or what's the word I'm looking for there? Willy-nilly. That's not the word I was looking for, but you know what I mean. I'm not. If you don't use a stop loss, you still have to have a plan. And with me, it's the hedging or the multi-sequence hedging or dollar cost averaging. So you do have to have a plan. You just can't stick your head in the sand. But it's just funny. I spoke to two different people, and both of them said, "Yeah, my trading really improved when I use stop losses." Yeah, well, go figure. So the Aussie yen, we're in a buy. Pound CAD. Now, what happened here? I closed. What am I going to do here? Yeah. We're in the only trade I've got open is this loss recovery, this sell here with a stop in place. So we can't lose on that. Overall, we've already recovered the loss. And I was in a sell. Buy, sorry, and two sells. And that was based on the multi-sequence hedging. So yeah, we got out of that for all trades closed for a small all over profit. Because originally it was a buy here. Then it took a hedge sell and a second sell. Price come down here. It gave me overall break even. I got out. I'm not mucking around. I'm in buy mode. The MACD platinum's below the zero level. I'm in buy mode. So we still got one sell trade on. That's this one here. That's just the loss recovery. It's a second sell. There's your buy there. Lost on that. Lost $102.26. Then took the second sell, 3 times position size. Managed to close out 0.15 of that. So I've got 0.3 left on. Stop in place just above the 20 moving average. I'll tidy up these charts. I'll just leave this stuff on the charts to show you guys on the video. XAU, USD, gold. The good thing is we're in multiple sequences here. You can read about it. Pause the video. Multiple sequence hedging. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're also on a loss recovery. We're on trade 4 on a loss recovery. It's all been a bit messy. The last signal was this buy here. We're heading up to the break even for sequence 2. Sequence 1's actually hedged, I believe. Yeah. I think the overall break even's a fair bit up there. It's a fair distance still. So to get up there, who cares if it doesn't? I'm happy to come back the other way when we get a sell signal, if that ever happens. But in the meantime, this could keep on going up, get through these 2 dotted lines. They're my target for my loss recovery. I'm not sure they're accurate. I'm just having a bit of trouble doing the maths on gold. Silver, I have no drama with, but gold just does my head in. So I think it'll be a little bit higher, but I'll keep an eye on the dollar amount. What's it, 6,300. See if I have a look. What am I looking for here? I can't see it. Yeah, no, I can't see it. So yeah, we're in multiple sequences. We're heading in the right direction, which is good. But sequence 1's hedged. That's the only problem. So we've got sequence 2 is obviously we're a winner. Sequence 3's hedged. Sequence 4 is a single buy trade, and so yeah, at least we're heading up. Aussie. Now this is a little bit tricky. What happened here was there was a buy here. You can see the blue dot. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's in there. There's no red dot here, and it got me a little bit suspicious. Maybe there wasn't. but I switched over to my MT5, and this is the same chart. This is Aussie daily chart, just a different setup. So there's your buy. There was a sell on that big candle there. So then there was a buy on Thursday or Friday morning. So I based my second trade on that. And it corresponds to this blue dot on the MACD Platinum. So I took a second buy there. I've pivoted. This would have been a multi-sequence hedging, but because I didn't get that sell signal, it didn't close out, didn't go on a loss recovery. So I've just left it at 0.12, the original buy trade. I've taken a second buy trade for 3 times that, so it's 0.36. And there's the overall break-even level. It doesn't have to go far, and we're already through the break-even. MACD Platinum still well below the 0 level, so I'm going to see if this heads up and breaks this high here. That'd be great. We can make some money here. These green levels, this is a big round number. It's a 60-cent level, and that's a 65, and that's a 70-cent level. They're big round numbers. With the Aussie, those numbers matter. As you can see, it gets below 60. Once it goes below 60, it becomes a newsworthy mention in Australia. Trust me. And the Aussie goes below 60. Considering it's been up, I think the highest it ever got to, and I was trading at the time, was $1.18. So it went through parity and straight up to $1.18, I'm pretty sure, yeah. Right, BTC, Bitcoin, we're in a buy. I was in this sell here, and it was stopped out for a small overall profit, which is good. Now we've got this buy, we've got the regular bullish divergence there. These numbers, that's the 80,000 level, so it's found some support at 80,000. It's all very quiet, the news. Bitcoin, look at this, that hasn't gone much at all. Bitcoin sort of ignores the big market moves and the stock market and that, so it shows that Bitcoin's finding some sort of its own sort of direction, its own path without relying on the... You can tell when Bitcoin's not on a tear because you don't hear any noise about Bitcoin in the news and that, you know. All the Bitcoin traders I know, I don't hear from them. Then when Bitcoin's on a tear, you hear from them. So yeah, I don't know. But I'm enjoying actually trading it. It's a bit messy with spreads and that, but geez, you can rack up the profits, and it's been good to me so far. Touch wood. Right, pound yen. We're still in a sell here. Remember, this was one of these multi-hedging sequence things. We're in a sell. Got to stop in place. We can't lose on that. You can pause the video, read about it. We're both in sell loss recovery mode, and yeah, still loss recovery. But smooth operator, rugby. On my team's playing. Yeah, so we've got loss recovery sell there, and also sequence 6. You can read the notes there. Sequence 6. Trade 1, stop now. So I can't lose on that. So it's all good. The pound yen eventually come good. It was messy for a while in there. Silver, XAG, USD. I'm stopped out of the sell. So the sell and the loss recovery, they were both there. I actually took a small loss. I dropped the ball a little bit. I should have probably closed half when I got down here on my sequence. I should have closed a bit more on this. What was that? Sequence 4. Yeah. I took a small loss, $16 or something, $17. No big deal, because I made a few extra hundred on the loss recovery. So sell. In the meantime, I've taken this buy here, and it's gone up nicely. So we've stopped out the sells. Just as I say, leave them on the chart there. Stopped out both for an overall profit. You can check the spreadsheet. It's got all the details on that. And this level here is the $30 level, big round number. As you can see, it sort of hovers around that, bounce of it. We've got this support level down here also. So we're in a buy, looking good at the moment, heading in the right direction. MACD Platinum a long way below the 0 level. Silver and gold tend to move the same. That's why I've sort of split them up into 2 different watch lists. Right, new trade. New trade on Monday. This is the only new trade that's on this list. So Euro Aussie, new sell. There it is there. MACD Platinum above the 0 level. Red QMP filtered dot. We've got some divergence there. Not much. Regular bearish divergence. Well, it's not much on the MACD, but there's plenty big difference from lower high on the MACD, higher high on price. So we're going to sell there. Now this is just a 0.06 sell. Remember, we're just doing one technique on one pair. So this one's traditional hedging. We're already in a buy still. It'll be a loss recovery and also, what was it? Sequence 2 sell. So it would have been a sell. Yeah, it's a sell. Hedge buy, second buy, and we closed out. Made our profit. And we also made on the loss recovery, recovered the loss from the previous one. So we're looking good. Can't lose on that. But Monday, new sell. So we don't know where it's going to be yet because they haven't taken it yet. And I'll try and move this stop up on the buy a little bit more, just lock in a bit of profit there. The trend tends to be up. Looks like it's up. So we'll see if we can stay in this buy for a fair while. So that's a new trade signal for Monday. Now, if you're going to place a stop, it'd be above this high here somewhere. But it's a fair distance there, so just be careful. New Zealand CAD. We are in a buy. This is one that was also added to the list. It's a pair I don't mind trading, actually. It's a pretty easy pair to trade most of the time. Took a buy here and it's going, at least it's heading in the right direction. MACD flat a long way below the zero level. It's all been a bit messy lately, but we're heading in the right direction. New Zealand, righto. So I took a buy in here. We're on a traditional hedge type setup on this, which is going to remain the case. I like the New Zealand USD for that sort of stuff. So I took a buy, hedge sell, second buy. Overall break-evens there. We've got some loss recovery action happening. So we had a buy there. We lost. Had to wait for a valid second signal, which is a second buy. Took that. The yellow dotted lines, that's where we want to go through them. The MACD platinum still below the zero level, so we're aiming to go through that before I take any action. This original buy was taken on hidden bullish divergence, so I like that setup. Then it's found support, big round number of the New Zealand, 55 cent level there. That's a 60 there. So it tends to move similar to the Aussie USD. It's funny because the Aussie USD and the New Zealand USD move very similar. But then you have a pair like the Aussie New Zealand, it's just all over the shop. Who knows how it works? It's obviously one's affected by the US dollar, yeah, the other one's not. So, but yeah, we're heading in the right direction there, so all good. Aussie Swiss, this a little bit messy. Took a buy here, took a second buy, so basically DCA and that, and it just dropped off a cliff. So I took a hedge sell in here. It's all very tight. So basically locking in losses here at the moment. So we're not going anywhere. Taking on, so break even, overall break even, NA not applicable as hedged. So because the MACD flat so far below the zero level, price has dropped off a cliff. I'm basically looking for another buy. And we'll consider my options. I may close that sell, take a profit, and I might go in full DCA mode. Depends. We'll see what happens. All right, Euro USD. Now, this is one that's been giving me a little bit of grief, but we're slowly working my way out of it. All right, loss recoveries. I was down about $2,226. Well, it was exactly. So price blew through these yellow dotted lines. I've closed that. And I actually took a small profit. So the loss recovery is finished. Let's run through this. Sequence 5, I'm in traditional hedge mode. So that's for sequence 5. So it's sell, hedge buy, second sell, second buy, second hedge sell. Try that again. Third sell. Sell, hedge, sell, second hedge, sell, third hedge. So it's hedged. Let's just clear that up because I've really messed that up. That's sequence 5. That's hedged. That's hedged. Can't lose on that. Sequence 7 is this one here. Commenced here. We've got a sell and a second sell. I'm in DCA mode. So there's a sell, second sell. There's my break even. Obviously nowhere near that as price just shoots up. So sequence 7's not looking too good. Sequence 8 is this buy here. I've already closed half and got a stop in place. There's a stop there. So I can't lose on sequence 8. So I'm making money on that, which is good. Losing on sequence 7, locked in on sequence 5 because it's hedged. Sequence 7 losing. Sequence 8 is a buy, closed half, stop in place. Sequence 1, I know it's gone back to 1, but I have to go back. Was a buy, and I have closed half of that also. Once the MACD platinum went through the 0 level, closed half of that, stops in the same place. So I can't lose on sequence 1. So we're just waiting for a new signal basically to try and bring this the other way. MACD platinum through the 0 level, start to draw some divergence lines in. So regular bearish divergence at the moment. Ignore these yellow dotted lines, ignore the loss recovery, that's all dealt with. We've already made a bit of profit. And that's without even considering the loss recovery profit. That's a few extra $100 also. But we're just going on this side. We've made $179. That gives me a bit to play with. If I can get out of all this overall break even, ignoring the loss recovery, if I can get out of all these trades here, overall break even, to me, that's a win. Because I haven't lost anything. If I just traded these like normal signals, that sell would have been a loss. That sell there would have been a loss. That sell there would have been it might have been a break-even trade. Buy here's a winner, but we're already going to make that a winner. So yeah, other than that, there's not much happening. So we're working my way through it slowly. The Euro USD, Pound Aussie in the sell trade. It's a bit hard to see there. Took it on yesterday, and it's at least heading in the right direction now. It's a high risk trade. We're against the trend. It's regular bearish divergence there. MACD platinum above the 0 level. Took the sell. And it's heading in the right direction slowly. All right, these are other ones. CAD Yen. These are once they're done, I'm removing them from the watch list. In a sell, it's sort of gone a bit sideways the last few days. The MACD platinum still above the 0 level. I could just close it, take the profit, but I'm going to play it out. See how we go. Yeah, I might see if there's not much happening on Tuesday. I'm just going to close that, I think. All right, Pound Swiss, my lucky trade, and I still won't deny I'm more arse than class when it comes to this one. There still hasn't been a sell signal yet, so I don't know why. I missed this buy, if you remember right, from my last video, which saved me a world of pain, really. It really did. Because I missed that buy, and I just sat on it. By the time I got out of bed, that's when I had a midweek bender last Wednesday, I think it was. Last Wednesday before. And I missed that buy signal. By the time I got to the charts, it was already bearish. I thought, I'm not taking the buy. It's already bearish. And it dropped off a cliff and made me look like a superstar. Nah, it didn't make me look like a superstar. Made me look like a lucky person, lucky idiot. So we've got to stop plays, can't lose on that. So we just one sell trade and just following it down. Right, this is the one pair, it's giving me grief. Pound USD. Other than me being a bit late to one trade in here, this one here, that was that Wednesday bender, midweek bender. I was a bit late to the party, which probably stuffed things up. I know it's only a few pips, probably about 80 pips in there, but it puts the whole thing out of whack. And I've also made a mistake on my position sizing. I'm actually double my position size. The only one I've messed up position size in, it's the only one that's given me grief. But having said all that, we're in multiple sequences here. There they all are. You can read about them down there. And I'm in a lot of world of pain on my loss recovery. And I think, where's the targets are miles away. Like up there, miles away. And look, I don't expect to get to them. I'm a realist. I don't expect to get to those targets. But if we can get sort of up there a bit, up to where these, say we got up to this level here and we had a reversal, then we're going to make some money and recover some of this loss. Down up to about 7,000 something now. If we can recover some of that loss, that's great. And we just keep on. This pair moves nicely. Sorry about the noise, hang on a sec. Sorry about the noise there. It is Khmer New Year this weekend. They celebrate it over 3 days. It's based on a lunar calendar or a Khmer calendar. I think Thailand, Songkran, same thing. It's the same thing. So it's all pretty quiet. Everyone goes back to the provinces, so it's pretty quiet in town. But it's fun time if you can avoid the water guns and the powder. But anyway, yeah, so this pair does move nicely, but we've had a buy, a sell, or buy, all in the space about 4, sell, buy, sell, buy. Now this is all to do with the tariff or trade war. So we just need one clear move in either direction, doesn't worry me, and we'll start grinding away. MACD Platinum's below the zero level. You can see the big divergence there, hidden bullish divergence. So hopefully if it can crack through some of these levels, we can start getting, say, out of sequence 2 and out of sequence 6. And, we can look at doing something with sequence 8. There's options. With so many trades on, there are options. Then I could just switch over to DCA or something like that, try and recover some of this loss here, and, just get in the grind. So now, even though it's going to be removed from my watch list, I think I'm going to be trading the pound USD for next couple of months at least, unless there's a huge move in one direction and I catch it. But yeah. It's a bit messy and I stuffed up with the position size, so it's not ideal for me. But it goes on. USD CAD. Now, something's happening here on Monday. It's not a valid setup, but I have to take some action. This is a traditional hedge trade. So I took a buy, hedge sell, second buy. Monday I'm taking a second hedge sell. With regards to the loss recovery, so these yellow lines are going to be no longer valid. So we'll get rid of all them because there's nothing happening here. And that one there. So the loss recovery, I'm going to close this buy trade for a loss and add it to my loss. Then I'm waiting for a valid setup. So when I say a valid setup, MACD Platinum, in this case it'll probably be a buy below the zero level. Then we'll take a third trade. It'll be trade 3, which in this case more likely will be a buy, and we'll go from there. But until that, we're just going to close it, take a loss, and we're taking a second hedge sell. It's getting a bit ugly. I'm not a fan of the USD CAD. I try to trade it, and you've heard me whinging about it before. It's just not a pair that we don't gel. We don't gel. I like Canada. I've been to Canada. I think the US wants Canada. No, let's not go there. Sorry, Canadians. USD, Singapore dollar. This has given me a bit of grief also. But it looks like there's some upside. I'm in 2 sequences. So sequence 1. These are both traditional hedging sequences, sequence 1 and sequence 2. Sequence 1's actually hedged at the moment. It's all very tight. There's your one trade. So we've got buy, sell, second buy, second hedge, third buy, third hedge, fourth buy, fourth hedge, sell. So that's hedged. Sequence 2 is sell, buy, sell. So that's that break-even level there, that yellow level there, which we're blowing right through. So this is these 3 trades here. MACD Platinum still above the zero level, so I'm no rush to do anything. Hopefully this just keeps on falling like a rock. I think my overall break-even is like down there. So if it just falls off a cliff, I'll even have a win on the hedge. Highly unlikely, but it's an option. If something drastic happens, the US dollar, the way it's going at the moment, it's heading down. And loss recovery. So because I've got 2 sequences, this is what I should have done on the pound USD, which I didn't. I had 2 loss recovery sequences also. So I already closed the sequence 2 loss recovery. So it was a sell, it was the original trade. Then I closed on that buy. Then I took a second trade 2 was a sell on that second sell, which is a valid signal. And it was also a valid signal for the loss sequence 1 loss recovery. I know it's a bit confusing, but I've already closed out sequence 2 loss recovery. I lost $72 roughly. I've already recovered that, and got a stop in place. So I can't lose on the sequence 2 loss recovery. Sequence 1 loss recovery, we're through both the yellow lines. They're the target 1, target 2. But with the MACD platinum still above the 0 level, we're just going to give it a couple of days and we'll start doing something about that. So we're making some money there. We're covering sequence 2 is all covered. It's just sequence 1, which is hedged at the moment. And what will happen, or what could happen, is price could drop down nicely. I can clear all these trades here, and I may, like say it comes down here, MACD, get a buy signal. I may look at closing all the cells and go into dollar cost averaging mode or something like that. There's options, like I say. Right, US 500, it's a bit ugly, isn't it? Let's go to a weekly chart, so we'll just get a big picture. So it's a weekly chart. So we got to this previous low here, and it blew through it, but didn't last long. So it's a big move. It's a 20% move or something. So it's a fair chunk of change. Trade wars, and he changed his mind, and he changed China. He said, no, I'll change it. Everyone except China raised China's, and China's now raised theirs. So it's going to be messy on the next week too. But US stock market, it's a good time to buy, apparently. Last signal is this buy signal. Game man, aren't you? There it is there. There's the buy. So we've come through, found support at this previous low, and it popped through, but it held. And that's a new low there. So we're coming up now. We can probably we can get rid of some of these lines. But no, I'm not sure where the stock market's going to go. But it's what, like I was thinking about today, this video's dragging on us. I apologise. These billionaires, like an Elon Musk or a, what's his name, the Amazon man, Bezos, and the guy from Star Trek that looks after Facebook, what's his name? Yeah, talking about Zuckerberg. These blokes, they say, they've lost a few $1 billion. If I had 50 billion and I woke up the next day and I only had 40 billion, as much as that would be, unless you specifically need that 10 billion for something, whether it's for collateral or loans or something like that. And if I went from 50 billion to 40 billion, I wouldn't exactly be crying poor. I wouldn't be complaining too much. You got more money already, so I'm not sure. But for the person that's got $300,000 in their savings account, they're just about to retire next week. That's where the shit gets real, sort of thing. With the stock market collapsing, your 300,000 is down to 220,000 or 250,000. It makes a difference. But for these multi-squillionaires, they've got more money than they need. I don't really feel sorry for them at all. Anyway, I've rambled on a bit. With regards to the DCA, the dollar cost averaging, there's 2 new trades. That's a Euro Aussie is a sell and a Euro New Zealand sell. So they're both valid sell signals, Euro Aussie and Euro New Zealand. Obviously some correlation there between the two of them. Thanks for watching the video. I probably dragged on a bit. My throat is absolutely killing me. If you do like, hit the like button and subscribe button. It's always appreciated. Formula 1 Grand Prix, Oscar's going all right, and even Jack Doohan's going okay. So, obviously following the Aussies there. Enjoy your weekend, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you good folk next week sometime. Cheers.